What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? It's the man you all know and love, Edigga. That's right. You know what you're watching. And if you don't know what you're watching. That's right. Live right here in the studios of Charm City Direct TV. It's Let's Talk with Edigga. You know what time it is. 8 o'clock p.m. right here. Facebook Live, YouTube, all the great three major platforms. That's right. I said three major platforms. YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope. Make sure you go there. Check it out live. Live, people. Tonight, I have a special guest. And before I introduce her or bring her on, I just want to say you can be a part of this interview. And I know you scratch your head like, what? How can I be a part of the interview? Well, it's real simple. You can be a part of the interview by typing in your comments, typing in your questions for tonight's guest, because she is phenomenal. I bump into a lot of people, but this person, I have to say, and we was just talking just a few minutes ago, and I'm gonna stop talking, but I need to get this out. The word for the night is classy. I'm gonna need to say that. The word for tonight is classy. Just classy. Over the board classy. We was talking. I said every now and then I need to hear good music. Like, listen what I'm saying, people. My eardrums need to hear good music. There's rap, there's R&B. I can't do rap all day, can't do R&B all day because rap and R&B ain't talking about nothing. But this young lady that I'm going to bring here tonight, what can I say? The music, my eardrums love it. I know that you will love it because you need to go to YouTube and check her out. And I am talking about none other than, if I can bring her on. There she is. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you international jazz R&B artist Michon Young.
Hey, Digga, how you doing, bro?
I am blessed. I am feeling good because my eardrums feel good. Because I had to go back right after we talked briefly for the sound check. I had to go back and listen to a couple of the songs. One song in particular, if we going to talk about this, it's All About Me. Love that. That is one of my personal favorites. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. First and foremost, I want to say thank you for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me, sir. It is my honor. It is my honor to be here. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need to say she is very humble. She is her spirit. I feel her spirit. Very humble individual. And you need to get connected. You need to go on to YouTube and check out her videos on YouTube. Just type in what I did. I typed in Michon Young and all her videos came up. And I want y'all to just relax. And because that's what her music does. It relaxes you. You having a hard day at work. You just got off of work. Get yourself some lemonade. I said lemonade. Don't, well, if you got the hard stuff, do the hard stuff. But I'm being modest. Get the lemonade, mellow out. Because if you want to hear some classy music, you need to check out Michon Young. I'm going to stop talking and let her talk now because I am just blown away. Just blown away. So my first question, Michon, is how long have you been singing?
Wow. I have been singing pretty much my whole life. I grew up in the church as many singers do. And my mother was the minister of music. My grandmother preached. So it wasn't an option, for me growing up. And I started singing way back when. And then my mother was pretty much against me going professional or pursuing something professional musically. She just believed, get that degree, get a good job, and live happily ever after that way.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I really focused on career, and that's what I did for a number of years. And it wasn't until I moved to the great city of Detroit that I started doing it professionally by way of performing with Pastor Marvin L. Winans. I had not done anything professional before. I've always been a writer, a lover of music, of all genres of music, but I've always been writing songs of grown-up topics since I was a small child. And so I never stopped writing, but I had, just really never thought that I would pursue this professionally. So
Mm,
I didn't do that until I moved to Detroit. And of course, this is the music mecca in Detroit. So that's when it all started for me.
that's what's up. That's what's up. And I have my first question from a viewer. I'm going to post that. And he writes, "Good evening." And he says, is she a mainstream or underground artist? So, Michon, talk about that. Are you a mainstream? Do you consider yourself mainstream or underground artist?
Definitely an underground artist. The mainstream are those, the Miss Jill Scott and Miss Anita Baker, and those are the true mainstream divas. But I'm an underground artist. I do everything independent, and I've been blessed to have, a couple of offers here and there. But I think for the most part, in order to do my music the way that I'd like it to be done, I've stayed independent. So I guess the short answer to that is an underground artist.
And you touched on something just a few minutes ago, independent.
Hmm.
I happen to like independent. Why? Because you get to pretty much, if I'm saying this right, you can pretty much get to do what you want to do instead of running the risk of having the industry tell you what to do. What is your opinion on that, Michon?
Yeah, yeah. Is it a lot of work? Absolutely. Is there a lot of things that you have to do on your own? A lot of things I had to learn as I went along on this journey. But it's the best feeling in the world, I think, when you're able to create and do what's from your heart and not necessarily what people think is the end sound, for lack of a better term, for the moment. But I think it's as an independent artist, you do have that flexibility to do what you want to do,
Hmm.
and not be too concerned or consumed with what others think is the best sound for you.
Yes.
So yeah, I totally agree. Independent for me. Yeah. Do you financing it all? Is it challenging at times? Absolutely. But I think to get what you want out of something you put your heart and sweat and tears and money and everything into, it makes you feel good. At the
Yes.
end of the day, for me, it does. It makes me feel good when I know that everything around these projects has been touched, with my creativity and with the way that I envisioned it to be.
That's what's up. I shout out to artists here. Well, she grew up here, Baltimore born, Baltimore raised. Paula Campbell, who just recently released her own label
Mm,
independently. So shout out to her. I had the opportunity to interview Paula, and she said, it is a hard task, trying to
yeah,
finance it, try to get it out there. You start with yourself, and then branch out and get other artists.
yeah,
Um, like I said, I love independent, because it just shows that more creative side. It shows the more business side to it, and you're able to do what you want to do without the hustle and bustle of the industry.
yeah.
Um, More questions are coming in. That's why I love Dawn Richards. I feel like a lot of artists' music was better when they were independent, like Jasmine Sullivan, Tory Lanez, and okay, cool, cool. And another one comes from, I believe I know who this is. I'm proud of myself. It's such a beautiful spirit inside and out. Yes. So keep those comments rolling, people. Thank you. So my next question is, what motivates you to sing?
You know, um I love music, you know, and what motivates me to sing is lyrics, the lyrics, you know.
Mm,
I am very careful and conscientious about, you know, what I sing about. Lyrical content is important to me, and you know, that's important. I love to express love in my lyrics, and so that, honestly, as a writer, I think my first love is writing, and
mhm,
then thereafter it's singing. So for me, what motivates me to sing is having the right type of content to sing about,
mhm,
and then I can put my heart into it. You know, I can't just. I don't like my personal preference, and I'm not knocking. Please, this is a disclaimer. I'm not knocking anybody who chooses to do something
mhm.
differently. But for me, I love to hear about how you can enhance relationships, how you can come back after a series of issues or misfortunes in relationships. I like to sing about the good, the bad, the indifferent of love,
Mm.
but how at the end of the day, if you work hard at it, you can make it work. So
Yes.
that's a long-winded answer, but that's what motivates me is getting a message of love out through music, and hopefully, you know, people vibe to it along the way.
That's what's up. And we have another question from a viewer, and they write, "What artist inspired you to sing?"
Oh, you know, I grew up listening to a lot of old school singers. My father just loved music, love. So music was always in the house, and he would play people like Mahalia Jackson,
Mm,
and Sarah Vaughan and Nancy Wilson and Nat
mm,
King Cole. And so those crooners from back in the day, even though I was a very small child, I always gravitated to those who sing to me. They sang from this gut, something on the
mhm,
inside. You know,
mhm,
it was powerful, you
mhm,
know, and I would see the impact music had on my father, and how if he had a bad day at work, he was able to come home and put on a tune, and it changed his whole disposition. And I thought, wow, this is a strong fella that would just really turn into a teddy bear
mhm.
when Nancy Wilson would croon to him, you know. And I thought that's a powerful thing to be able to do, to change somebody's perspective about something, or to make them feel a certain way simply by your voice, you
Yes.
know. And that's what really drew me into, maybe at some point this is something that I can do, because it really mesmerized me, you know, to see that, to see how music was so powerful, and it can impact you in so many different ways, and evoke so many different types of emotions, you know.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's what motivates me.
That's what's up. From local to global, talk about the importance of that. From being here
Hmm.
and elevating to a much global scale.
You know, I have been fortunate to have my music played. In fact, my music was started heavily abroad in the UK.
Mm,
And I to this day, honestly, I don't know how my music as an independent artist, how it got over there. But that is the most beautiful feeling, to have a global audience, you know, people of different cultures, of different backgrounds, of different ethnicities, to embrace, you know, your sound and your music. Because at the end of the day, that's music is so powerful. It really has the ability to bring us all together, and it has. You know, you see over the years. You know, even back in the day, you know, when there was segregation, there was always points where music brought us together. You
yes.
know, and having, especially in this day and age, with so much going on around the world, to have an influence, musically abroad,
Yes.
it's just amazing. It's amazing, and I didn't strive for that, but I'm thankful that it happened that way. I always envisioned me doing something on a larger scale, I just didn't know how that would happen, but I used to have these visions of other people from other cultures in embracing my music, and I just thought, that's this little girl from Gary, Indiana. That could never happen, but it did, and it has. So I do think I know that's just kind of a long-winded answer, but I think at the end of the day, that is it's an awesome feeling to be able to have a global impact musically.
Yes, yes. And another question from a viewer. So why jazz, R&B, and not gospel?
So why jazz, R&B, and not gospel? I think I said previously how much I love all genres of music.
Okay.
I initially started out with the gospel project. I am a spiritual person. And I said, when I started out in this journey, I said, I promised God, I said, if you allow me to do this, the first project that I do will be for you, will be about you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did. I initially put out a gospel project, and I wasn't labeling myself as a gospel artist. I'm a believer. I'm a Christian, and I believe, in God. But I also have a love for all types of music. So I love gospel, I love jazz, I love R&B, but I love sounds. Sounds are what is more attractive to me than a particular genre. So
Okay.
I don't know if that answers your question, but for me, I love it all. I love gospel, I love jazz, I love R&B, I love some pop. I just love it all.
Wow. That's remarkable. That feel good, chill music. That's why I labeled your music as that feel good, come home from a hard day's work, grab your lemonade, your hard, or your beverage of choice, as I would say. And just zone out. And like I was talking earlier about one particular song that I particularly like, where you can, people, trust me, go to YouTube, type in Michon Young, look at the videos, listen to the music. My personal preference is All About Me. Like I said, when we had our sound check, I went back. I think I went downstairs. I came back. I said, let me listen to, this song one more time. Man, first of all, it's clear, it's crisp. I love the music. Who does your production?
My husband and I.
Hmm.
I am the lyrics person, and he's the sound guy. So
Wow.
it's just a two-man team, and we do everything together. You
Wow.
know, that song in particular is one of my favorites because it really is a personal story. And actually, most of my songs are from personal experiences or from experiences that I know others close to me have had, but the majority are my own personal experiences.
Okay.
So when I wrote It's All About Me, it was really from a personal place of, telling my husband that, hey, every now and again, I would just like just me and you. I don't want to nag you about it, and I know you're busy, but sometimes I think we have to remind our significant others, and we can do it in a loving way,
Mhm.
that take a little time out for me, and that's what
Mhm.
that song is about. It's not to bash you, to tell you just stop it and come on over to my world, but it's just saying, just take a little bit of
Yes,
time out, for us, because that's important. That's important for relationships to grow, to flourish, and to maintain. Is to make sure that that time is devoted on a regular basis to each other.
that's what's up. Who does your videos? Because unlike like the music, I'm like marveled by the sound. I'm a visual person as well. I love a good video, the clarity, the the ability to stick to the song, so to speak. Who does your videos?
My videos are done by my great friend Carmichael Music Lover, who's also a phenomenal artist. And if you haven't heard of him, I would truly encourage you to take a listen to this brother. He's so phenomenal. He's got just several talents, and he owns 3-in-1 Media out of Atlanta. And so it literally, we shot that video, I want to say, in a couple of hours. So he is the brains behind the videos that I've done so far. I think, well, there's two, there's three videos I have, and he's done two of the three.
That's what's up. Love a crisp video. It was, oh my God, it from start to finish, people. You have got to go over, make it the day. Make it the day, people. I love visuals, I love sound, I love audio, and you get all of that in one. I am just like blown away right now of the sound. Like I said, people, I need to hear a good song. I need to hear good music every now and then. And on top of that, I need to see good videos. This next question, I think me and Cable was on the same wavelength about your opinion on music today. So I'm going to post his question in respect to what you said about the UK. The UK respect true music. Yes, I agree. And saying that, how do you feel about today's R&B music compared to the past?
That's a great question. I think, and I don't want to sound like I'm bashing, music today, because I guess I'm a part of that now, so people could say that about me. But I think that back in the day, it was storytelling. To me, it was the songs of, Since I Lost My Baby, and I'm going, real old school, but songs that told a story that you really could relate to. That's why many of those songs are still being sung and played today, because they meant something.
Yes.
There was some substance behind the lyrics. And I think, I don't think that there is that much, as much attention to your lyrical content as back in the day.
Yes.
It's like we really look for the great beat, and while that's wonderful, while that's great, but I think it should be more than that. I think today's music compared to music of yesteryears, is the lyrical content is just different, and we are pretty brash, and we're pretty we're straightforward. Now it's not as much storytelling as it was back in the day.
Yeah.
And I think that's the big difference for me, is that we're not, focused so much on what the person is saying as opposed to how the music sounds. And back in the day, there was to me, it was a great balance of both. Whereas now it's not as much a good balance.
Yeah.
Just, my personal opinion.
I said the same thing. But what I said was, I think people were running out of content. I think people were running out of content. You're absolutely right. Back in the day, there was some meat and potatoes to music. Now it's just nothing wrong with veggies, but it's just the vegetables, and we just going to get to we'll get to the meat and potatoes later, but you're going to get these vegetables,
Yeah.
I think music is the creativity is slowly starting to decline, and people, their ideas are starting to, and not only music, and I know I'm getting off a topic with this, there's a lot of TV that's losing content. You wake up and there's a reboot to a classic. You can't. What I don't like, and I need to tread lightly when I say this. If there's a classic song, don't redo it. As much as you want to, and you think you can enhance it or do it better, or I guess pay homage to the person, don't do it. Just leave the classic as a classic. Let it go down in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or the Music Hall of Fame. just let it do what it do, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Or if you can't, if you're not going to do any justice to the remake, like I know there are a couple of remakes that, man, when they remade the songs, it was like you forgot who the original was.
There you
One
go.
being, I think Luther Vandross. In fact, I was just listening to a story today from Dionne Warwick, who said that the first, I think she originally had done a house is not a home, or
Mm,
if anyone has a heart, or something like that. And
mm,
so she was saying that Luther Vandross wanted her to hear the remake
mm.
prior to him releasing it.
Okay.
And she said, he wanted to get her respect, get her approval, I guess, for lack of a better term, of the track before releasing it. Now we all know that he killed, a house without a home, and anyone who has a heart. He killed songs like those, and even with Whitney Houston, when she remade "I'll Always Love You,"
Yeah.
and I never knew until years later that Dolly Parton originally recorded that.
And
So
Willie Nelson.
yeah,
Yeah, Willie
yeah. So I
Nelson,
mean, if
Dolly
if you're
Parton.
going to do,
I don't know who did it first. Put it that.
yeah, I had heard Dolly Parton. I wasn't aware. I think I heard briefly about Willie Nelson, but I didn't really find anything to really substantiate that. But I just knew about Dolly Parton, and I thought when I listened to Miss Parton's version, I thought, oh goodness, that Whitney Houston just really, she made that song,
Mhm.
to me.
And Mary J. He said, Mary J. I'm Going Down. She owned that song. I think
Oh
I'm Going
yes.
Down is a remake as well. And you're right. Now let me rewind. I take that back. Some, okay, some. Just like you said, Luther asked Dion for her permission.
Yeah,
I think a lot of the millennials now who feel as though that they can do it better, that respect is gone. But some
yeah,
songs that were remade perfect, excellent.
yeah,
But
yeah,
now
yeah,
that we are living in an age now where millennials feel as though that they can do it and they sound much better, and really don't have that respect for the person who possibly did that song before.
yeah, yeah.
So I
I
needed to
agree
say
with
that.
you. I agree. And sadly, I think from a lot of the music veterans out there, I think there's so much that you can learn from them, and it's sad that many millennials, and others, not just millennials, don't give the respect I think that should be given to those who paved the way, for
Yes.
us. Because I think I read something recently where Stephanie Mills certainly is an icon in her own right,
Yes. Yes.
and she was talking about how she's more than willing to share knowledge about the industry, the
Mm,
do's, the don'ts, the ins and outs. She says to a lot of the folks that are the newcomers, but they don't approach them, they don't reach out to them, and
mm,
and she was suggesting that, and I'm paraphrasing now, but she was suggesting that that level of respect it's just not there.
yeah.
It's not there. It's like they come out and many think they know it all and can do it all, and they're looking at you like, when's the last time you had a hit? And so they don't have that level of respect. When there's so much that can be, that you can learn. So much history that they have. I
Yeah.
would love to be able to sit in front of those folks. I was thankful to have Pastor Marvin Winans as a mentor, and I could literally sit for hours and talk to him about his experiences, and I would act like a sponge and soak up everything, because I think that's important. That's
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 what's up.
important.
That's what's up. Were there any obstacles you had to face in order to pursue your music?
Oh yeah, and still facing. It's getting the music out there, and as an independent artist, it's networking. It's hoping that you meet the right people that can help further push your music out there. It's getting performance opportunities now. Thankfully my music is slowly but surely getting out there.
Mhm.
But initially starting out, it's a grind every hour of the day, literally trying to, once you, the easiest part for me is making the music.
Mm.
But the hardest, most challenging part is at that point getting the exposure of the
Yeah,
music,
getting
you
it
know
heard and
getting it heard,
yeah.
getting it out there,
Mm.
getting people to listen, because you got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of artists who are doing the exact same thing that you do.
Mhm.
So it's not being discouraged when you knock on that first door
Mhm.
and it goes unanswered. When you make a phone call and you don't get the phone calls returned, it's really being determined and saying, you know what, come what may, this is what I want.
Mhm.
And I'm going to go after it, and I'm not going to worry about people. Everybody's not going to get you. Everybody's not going to vibe to your music,
Mhm.
but if you put out a good project, there's somebody, I think there's room for all of us out there. The competition is fierce, but not to the point where you can't get to the point where you feel as though, I'll never make it. I won't get out there. It's not gonna happen for me. You
Okay.
got to keep grinding.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got to keep grinding.
So I have another question from a viewer. Do you think the way the church is today is why music is different? A lot of our legacy uh artists were raised in the true church.
Hmm. Um, that's an interesting question. I would say that in the church today, I grew up, as I told you, I grew up in the church. So it was always, that secular stuff. You don't want you to sing that secular stuff, and that was the focus then. So I don't know that that's changed too much now, because
Okay.
even now, you still have, people that will say, how you release a gospel project and you singing secular.
Mm.
Oh, I can't love God and love music as well.
Mhm.
Isn't God love?
Yeah.
So there's that I think that's still going on today.
Okay.
But does it have an impact? I don't know. I honestly, I can't. I don't know about that. I don't know that it. I think it's certainly, personally, I think it's what you choose, what you choose to believe in, what you choose to do. I
Okay.
don't know that the church actually. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that right now, I'll say.
Okay. Okay. What is the one thing you enjoy most about performing?
Oh, wow. I think actually, it's interesting because I just had a pop-up performance literally, before this interview tonight. And I happened to look out and they were singing the lyrics to my song.
Hmm.
And to see the crowd singing the lyrics to the song, and that just warmed my heart. It's like, man, they were listening to what I was saying. So they know the music, they know what I'm talking about.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's what I love to see. I like to see people enjoying what I do. And I'm really interactive in concert.
Hmm.
I like to talk about real stuff. I like to talk about the good, like I said before, the good, the bad, the indifferent of relationships, how to make them work, what you go through, what you have to do, to make things work. So I like to have an interactive, discussion, in between songs. And I like to see the reactions of people, but I enjoy most really just getting out there and storytelling in my own way during performances. That makes me feel good because
That's what's up.
I embrace the audience and we just leave as friends. After the show, we're talking like we've been talking forever because I kind of lay it all out on stage.
That's what's up. Love it. Now, if you wasn't singing, performing, creating music, what would you be doing?
Probably what I was doing before I started this. I've been an HR professional for a number of years. I was HR manager. So yeah, that's what I would probably be doing. I would be still in corporate America, doing employee relations issues and performance management and all of that stuff. So that's what I really enjoy doing. I absolutely loved what I did in human resources. So if I wasn't singing, I'm sure I would still be in corporate America doing human resources.
Wow. Wow. And this next question comes from Cable. Just heard something about you. That's another one of my favorites. You have a very soulful voice, he says.
Oh,
Would you
thank
ever
you.
collab with Layla? I believe he's talking about Layla Hathaway. What artists would you like to work with?
Oh wow! Well, first of all, thank you so much for the compliment. And I absolutely would just love to collab with Miss Layla. I think she's absolutely phenomenal, and I'm a fan of hers and of her father's, the legendary, Donny Hathaway.
Yes,
So
yes. Shout out to Donnie. Donnie
yes,
Hathaway. May he rest
yes,
in peace.
yes. There is no other voice like that, or will ever be another voice like that. But yes, to collab with Miss Layla would just be phenomenal.
Yes.
Or Miss Rochelle Farrell. I'm a
Oh
lover
yeah.
of Miss Rochelle Farrell. I love what she does vocally with her voice. But the artist, I think I would want to collab with one of the greats, Miss Gladys Knight,
Mm,
from back in the day.
mhm.
Because again, I love the delivery of their songs. It wasn't trying to show you how vocally strong they were, but it was to convey to you a message, and the
Mhm.
delivery was so on point.
Yes.
So if I had my wish, I think I would choose to sing with the great divas of the past. Again, Miss Gladys Knight, and for more current, I actually love Miss Avery Sunshine. Now she's another
Yes.
one
Yes.
that I would love to see what we could do together. I think she is a powerhouse vocalist. So
Yes.
somebody like her, or even, what, surprise, this might surprise, some, but I love Miss India.Arie. I love her message and her music. I told you that's important to me. What you say, what you're talking about.
Yes. Yes.
So I love that sister as well. Those are the type of sounds that I like.
That's what's up. What's next for you, Michon?
Well, we've got. I'll be in London in another couple of months.
Wow.
Um, and I'll be on the same bill as the legendary Mr. Glenn Jones and Big Bub, and Mr. Jermaine Robbins. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And I got new music coming out in another 3 weeks. I actually have a free download right now of a song that I wrote called "Let's Go to Work." It was a live performance in California on New Year's Eve,
Mhm.
so that's available right now as a free download.
Mm.
And that a live project will be going out at the end of May, along with new music. So there's new music, there's a live project, there's um, constant performances that are coming up over the summer. So it's going to be a busy period, but I'm looking forward to it. I really am ready to get out on the road, ready to get this thing going.
Wow. Wow. I absolutely love it. And the person that's asking the questions, he's a personal friend of mine, and he is a avid, hear me, avid Brandy, the singer Brandy lover.
Mm,
Very
mm.
huge fan. Like you cannot say anything bad about Brandy to this person.
Yeah, yeah.
And he writes, Edigga, I have to ask. LOL. Would you ever collab with Brandy?
Oh, I love Miss Brandy. Um, I would be nervous with her in the studio, for real, because I think she's a powerhouse as well. But absolutely, absolutely. And there's so much that I could, learn from her as well, from her experiences. She's been in the game for a minute, and I still think that she is a bit underrated.
Yes.
I think her talent is phenomenal. And yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding me? Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to.
That's
Can
what's
I give a quick shout out to my brother Ray, who's also instrumental in my music as well. He is watching, and Ronaldo's my baby brother. We lost our mother in October of this past year,
oh
and so
man.
we're still kind of dealing with that. And I just want to just give him a special God bless you, and I love you, brother, and we in this thing together.
That's what's up. Thanks, brother, for watching. That's what's up. Now, I like to ask this question to artists who appear on the show because I feel as though that advice and knowledge goes a long way to someone who one needs to hear it, and two, someone who is struggling to be where you are, or be where other entertainers or other artists are right now. So the question is, what advice could you give to some inspiring artists that's trying to be where you are right now?
I would say be consistent, be diligent, be confident, be wise. Know the business, understand the business. That's so important. And as an independent artist, you're forced to, but want to as well. Understand exactly. This is it's not just about singing or performance. It's so many elements to this thing. But you have to be diligent, and it's grinding, and it's don't get downtrodden, or discouraged, if you get no's. I've gotten no's before. I've gotten yeah, I don't know. Don't let that discourage you, because it's
Yes.
easy to say, it's easy to hear one person. You could get 10 people that really feel you and love you and appreciate your music, and you will focus on the one person that doesn't.
Mm,
Don't do that,
yeah.
and it's easy to do. I've done that. But don't allow that to discourage you. Just keep pursuing, keep going, get up every day with a purpose. For me, I jot down what it is I'm doing every single day, first thing in the morning. And it's your business. Your brand is your business, and who can better sell you than you? So go out there and sell yourself and give it all you got every day you got.
That's what's up. Another question comes from another viewer. I know who this is. Would you consider acting?
Oh wow, that's a good question. Um, I don't know. I don't know that I'd be good at it. I would try it, I would certainly be open to it. Um, that would be interesting. That
Wow.
would be interesting to do, but I certainly would be open to it. I certainly would.
That's what's up. And we going to see you soon on the big screen.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Yes, yes. And also cable rights. Definitely love you now. You have a fan that is
Oh,
the one who loves Brandy. So by saying that you love Brandy, you want to work with Brandy, you have a new fan in cable, and he is
thank you,
sorry for your
Cable.
loss.
Thank you, Cable. I appreciate you.
Great, great. I just want to say, how about Broadway?
Oh, wow. That would be phenomenal. That was, I said before, I have a son that's in college, now.
Okay.
And I said before he turns 21, I want to take him. We've never been to a Broadway show together. He's been
Yes.
to a Broadway show on his own, but I'd love to experience that with him. So that would even be better for him to experience that with mommy in a Broadway show. So
That's what's up.
absolutely.
That's what's up. Where can people find you? Where can people hear your music, see your videos? I know YouTube. I instantly went to YouTube, look you up. People, a whole list of music, whole list of videos. So you need to go to YouTube. What other streaming outlets, social media outlets are you on that people can go to and check you out?
Well, first and foremost, my website, which is www.michonyoung.com, and then at Instagram and Twitter at Michon Music, and also on Facebook at Michon Music. and my music is available on all digital platforms, from iTunes to Spotify, SoundCloud. You name it, is out there right now.
Great, great. I just want to say again, thank you for coming on the show,
Thank you.
sharing your knowledge, your experiences, your journey in music. Like many have said, you have a beautiful soul, beautiful voice. Have anybody ever told you you sound to me like Anita Baker?
It's so funny. I had never heard that before until I moved to Detroit. And I I had joined Pastor Weiner's church, and I'd been a member for 7 years
Mm,
until I decided to become a member of his choir.
mm.
And one day, a young lady said, "I think this girl next to me can sing a little bit." I didn't go and come in saying, "I want a solo," or "I want to," I didn't do any of that. I sat in the back row, literally the second from the end. And this young lady said, "I think this girl can sing." And, right away, he asked me to sing. And then he told me, "You remind me of my good friend." And I'm like, "Who was that?" And when he told me that, I couldn't believe it. I just had never heard that before. I had never heard that before. And he was the first one to tell me that. And since then, I've heard that a few times, but that just blows my mind. I mean, Miss Anita Baker is phenomenal. So to even
Yes.
come close to having a tone to hers is just unbelievable to me.
Yeah, I listen. Like I said, I look at your videos, listen to your music. I say, man, she sounds a lot like Anita Baker. I was
Wow.
woo. You know,
Wow. Wow.
it's that
The,
feel good, that chill, laid back music. I'm telling y'all, treat your eardrums, and Tony Braxton as well. Yes, Tony Braxton,
mm,
Anita Baker. Yes, yes.
wow.
Treat
Wow.
your eardrums, people. Your eardrums are a very important part of your body. Need to treat. You need to, just like food for your stomach. Need to treat your eardrums to some good music. I'm telling you, make your way over to YouTube right after this interview with Miss Michon Young. Treat yourself to some great music. Grab the lemonade or the beverage of your choice.
Of your choice.
I keep saying lemonade. I must want some, and just zone out to her music. I am definitely a fan now. I want to say again, thank you so much for coming on the show. Um, we'll be talking to you soon. Also, there's one more question from Cable, and this is the last question. Will you ever be in concert around the DMV area? Definitely would like to attend.
I'm actually in Washington in May.
Hmm.
And it's coming up real soon. Yeah, I'm in
Yes.
Washington in May, and we've got some other things that are in the works right now. But Cable, I will definitely make sure that I get the info to Edigga, so hopefully you can come and then hang out with me backstage.
Yes. Yes. Would love to. Please keep me posted.
I
Keep me
will.
posted. So maybe I'll be Washington is my second home, believe it or not.
Really?
Had an opportunity to go to what's the Constitution Hall for a
Mm,
comedy show. Very, oh my God, I was so impressed. So impressed. First time at Constitution Hall.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Mm,
Beautiful.
mm.
So
I've not been, but I've heard wonderful things about it. Wonderful
yeah.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, make it if you can, if it's within your schedule. Make sure you just even if you just ride past there, just, just see it. It is remarkable on the inside. The ambiance. I was looking around like, wait a minute, is I'm in Washington? Wait, what is this?
Will do. I'm definitely gonna tell my husband we got to check it out.
Yes, yes. Thank you again for coming on the show.
Thank you,
Any other shout
brother.
outs?
To my husband, my right hand, Jerry Williams Jr. Um, Thank you so much to my manager, Otley Reed, and just to all the supporters of my music. I appreciate you more than you know, and I'm growing, I'm learning, and stay on the ride and the journey with me.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Definitely will be talking to you soon.
Mwah. Thank you, brother. Much love to you.
Same to you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Take care now.
All right.
Bye-bye.
That people was international. I need to say that. International R&B jazz jazz artist Michon Young. What can I say? Beautiful spirit, beautiful person, beautiful music. You need to treat your eardrums to, like I said, my word for the day, classy, elegant, regal, awesome, beautiful, amazing. I ain't had time to write all that stuff, but classy music right here. Let's talk with Edigga. Make sure you go on over to YouTube. Check her out. Check out the videos. If you're like me, I like all the techie stuff, but I love a nice video. Love a nice video. Shout out to my man, Cable. And just being a part of this conversation. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for your questions. You was dead on, man. They need to talk to you too, man. They were some good questions. Yo, make sure you check out Charm City Direct TV, all of his content. Like I said, yesterday I introduced some new shows that's coming on to the network. Get a chance to check out my man DJ Steve live on the Big Fat Morning Show. He will be here live starting Tuesday, the 30th, I believe. Check him out every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday right here on Charm City Direct TV from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Make sure you check this brother out. Most requested DJ in the city right now. Make sure, again, vibe out, zone out to his music. Sit back, relax. You know what to do. DJ Steve live, Big Fat Morning Show. And also, new show coming up. What can I say about these two sisters? New show that's coming up. I think on the 29th. There's so much going on, people. Please forgive me. On the 29th, two sisters, Kiara and Christian, they have their own show that's coming up. I can't say the word. But they're best friends talking shh. That's all I'm going to give you right there. Hey, you've been great. Another great show. International jazz R&B artist, Michon Young. Beautiful person, beautiful spirit. Make sure you check out the recap show on YouTube at Charm City Direct TV. Go to Periscope, which is the streaming engine for Twitter. See, you learn something new every day. Go to Periscope at Charm City Direct. No TV, just Charm City Direct. And go to YouTube or Facebook. I said YouTube. Go to Facebook at facebook.com/Charm City Direct TV. Hey, you've been great. And as I end my broadcast all the time with, holla at you, wanna smile at you. Peace.